before we even go live.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Card Collecting and Investing with 3 guests today, maybe more, who knows. We're just discussing the madness of last night, PWCC PMG sales and some golden auctions that are about to end, I think 3 days' time, roughly. So, welcome, Marvel Guy, Sketch Card Hive, and Scandell.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. So, let's share some screens, shall we, and get into it. So, thoughts on the 2013 Red PMG PSA 9, first of all. 78,000.
Wow.
For Spider-Man, right?
So I was on live for this last night for a couple hours, and what I found with that sale, it was pretty much exactly in line with the previous Red that was a PSA 9 that sold. I mean, right in line. Almost,
Wow.
I mean, within $1,000.
Really?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, gosh, dude.
I can bring up close-ups, but I think Gingy's going to. I mean, was the condition obviously 7? When I looked at the pictures, I couldn't even see what made it clearly a 7.
You're talking about the blue.
Oh, we're talking about blue or red?
He was talking about the red.
Red.
Right there.
Yeah, red.
Yeah, we're going to start red.
Oh, right. Red was the 9. Sorry, my bad.
Right.
No, it's all good. I'm trying to add it in, but it's not
Amazing thing
working.
for a 9. Here, let's see. I'll bring it up on my end. I want to look at
see if you can get it
price
working.
and stuff.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Let's do some introductions here.
Introductions. We got some people in the chat already.
Surfer, what's up? Oh, I had it on private chat.
Yep.
What's up, Jago? Bryce? And Brian. How are you?
Bryce.
What's up, boys?
Right.
There you go.
Here we go. Sorry, I got it.
You got it? Awesome.
So, I personally expected that to go for less than $72,000. So I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Like the lightning strike kind of method, like that's what you're thinking? Like lightning doesn't strike twice that soon kind of thing?
Yes.
You thought
like
the previous sale might have been a slight fluke is what you were
not quite, but I don't know. I just thought there might be a potential pullback on PMGs, and I thought this might be the time. But I was proven wrong, I think is the answer.
Well, usually there's a spurned purchaser that didn't get the card in the last round, right? So it wasn't just one person that drove the price up that high. So there was other people waiting for another card to come along. So and then obviously, and then the press has been building steadily on Marvel cards since then. So
yeah, again, it's been a hot minute, isn't it? I guess Marvel cards.
Yes.
You guys are like
one of the discussions we were having on my channel last night was that there's still only it's a pop 5.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking up just now.
It says it on the listing. It says 5 graded, none higher. So there's no 10s. There's 5 PSA 9s. We know a friend of ours has 1, and there's 2 that sold now. So that means there's 2 more out in the wild somewhere that are probably in private collections. So when are you even going to see another one of these unless there's one at PSA right now? And if it gets a 9, that's still an epic grade.
Exactly. And that's the thing. The demand is there. The supply is not.
Yeah, there's still 95 cards out of play somewhere.
See, and the tricky thing about those 95 is like, I don't know, Scandell might know this, but remember there was a time where some of these extra PMGs were just sitting on ComC and nobody was touching them because there were so many there were so many. Sorry, I gotta say, I was like because there were so many people who were like kind of had them in their collection and had kind of gone through the grading of like seeing which ones they had better, and people were looking at corners. And for a little while, that some of the extra were sitting on ComC not being touched. And then the moment this kind of picked up speed, they were gone.
Yes.
And not even like a lot of 2013. I don't really think there was much 2013 out there. I probably had a shot at like 2 more Silver Surfer Reds and 2 more Silver Surfer Blues when I was hunting. Like I had a shot to pick up some doubles, but they weren't like comparable to the ones I had. So I just, like a doofus, let them go. But yeah. I don't know. They're pretty hard. Quality control on these is really tough.
Buy it now. 2013 PMGs on ComC. I don't see that happening anytime soon again.
Yeah, no, I think that's over.
Yeah, big time over.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happening.
Nia, your thoughts on the red PSA 9?
It kind of went where I kind of thought it was going to. Right at or slightly above where the last one went. I think we've been talking about it a lot in the chat. It does seem like the rare things that we haven't seen pop up and sell yet are still going for like wild and crazy numbers, but things that we have seen multiple sales in a row now, it seems to be like it's at least cooling. It's not like crashing or anything crazy like that, but you're not seeing like, a month ago it was something would sell for 1,000, then the next one would sell for 2,000, then the next one would sell for 3,000. We're much more like, the pace has slowed down, the craziness has slowed down.
Yeah. I think there are certain players in the game who are getting very comfortable with the collections they currently have acquired. And I think that is inspiring other players at that level to also look at Marvel. And I think that's why we're seeing the steady kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's remaining somewhere near where it is. Whether that pops, whether that lowers, I think if enough people come in the game who will not need to sell and recoup, which is the whole point of all this, right? Buyers at a certain level, you're looking at certain cards keeping their price point. And I think Spider-Man 2013 is probably the safest of all the things that exist.
Yeah. So that brings us on to the blue. So PSA 7 of Spidey, 72,000. Now, a BGS 9 sold for 132,000 with buyer's premium. Not so long ago.
Right.
So obviously, this is PSA 7. But why for people out there, why is the blue going for less than the red, which is numbered out of 100, and then the blue is numbered out of 50?
We zoom in on this card because I do want to bring
up.
The
obvious answer is it's a 7 versus a 9, but as we've discussed when Brian's sets were going on Golden, the factor hasn't been a 2 factor. It's not been a double like a red. Let's just call it the same grade or raw. A red, the blue doesn't sell for twice as much as the red, even though there's half as many. I think what we've been coming to is about a 1.4 to 1.5 if they're equal grade or similar quality. And here you've got a 7, almost tying what the red did, and the red was a 9. So
I'm telling you,
that's a really good sale for a 7. I think
this is a strong 7, though. I can tell you that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know where this grade came from. I mean, there's nothing overly evident about it. Every corner has a slight discolorization, but they still actually look firm and perpendicular. Like they don't look overly soft or anything. So it is interesting, the grade. Like I wonder if it has some kind of surface issues or some kind of
I mean, all 4 front corners have white. That right edge right there has white. Like just looked like there might have been something on the left edge.
Yeah,
like next to his eyes.
That left back edge a little bit. Yeah.
Well, even on the front edge, scroll up just a little bit.
But
just the right edge, right next to where the 3 dots were.
Front right was Neo saying.
I've seen 7s look way worse. Is my only point, I guess.
That looks like a surface dimple there or dust. That's hard to tell.
Yeah,
surface is the one thing that you can never tell on a slab.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There are some scratches under the T and the E there. And for PMGs, especially surface, because there's an actual image embedded in the foil. So like you see, that might be slab, we don't know. But if you go up to behind Spider-Man and we're looking at the background for
there's
a little
that white
bit here,
spot underneath the end too.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean? Like these guys
that
here.
right there is what I was talking about.
Yeah, I see all that whitening on that edge. this kind of background stuff,
There's
it has a
another white
lot
spot
of
there,
ridges. It has a lot of ridges, and what some of them have is sometimes a line where the foil didn't quite match up. It's really apparent in 2017 where you see the color difference sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have seen those, but 2013 might have like exactly. 2013 sometimes have like a random line across that etching that gives you that background image. That's what I've seen a lot of these guys get dinged for.
Don't forget too,
that.
this is PWCC, so if it's a really good looking 7, they will put an eye appeal sticker on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And what does that
Like,
mean?
So PWCC, if they get a card, like they review the cards, and if they think it looks like a really strong 7, 8, 9, 5, whatever it is, like if you're talking like vintage sports cards, they'll actually give it like an eye appeal sticker that says like, we understand this is a PSA 5, but it's like a really good looking PSA 5.
Right.
And usually that stuff will get a little bit of a premium. Like they had an 86 Fleer Jordan that they hit with that sticker, and it sold for like astronomical sums over ones in the same auction that didn't have the eye appeal sticker.
Okay.
Wow.
That's crazy. Understood. That is new for me, so good to know.
So if it was like a clean, like if it was a super clean 7, then they may hit it with that eye appeal sticker. The fact that they didn't, like I said, it's hard to tell. Surface is the hardest thing to judge when a card's already graded.
Yeah. Big time.
But there is, there's definitely things on that card. You know, all 4 front corners are white. That front edge is white, and then there's some chipping on the back, which is all very common on a PMG. But
also, too, when it was graded, like that blue could be way more recent than that red. And I know right now PSA is being.
That's pretty newer because it's got the Lighthouse label on it, so it's not like it got graded like.
No, it's not that
5-10 years ago or anything crazy.
Yeah.
All things being equal, let's say these are the same card. Same grade. Sorry, red versus blue. Which one would you want on your shelf? Go.
This is where I think I and people talk about color matching, but I actually prefer the blue and the red combined. That's my personal preference.
They're kind of both color matches.
Yeah,
right.
It's Spider-Man colors, period. Yeah.
The only thing I would say is the red color matches the slab, but that's the only difference.
Can I take both? Is that possible?
Oh, yes. There was a secret option C that was both. Yes, you win.
Yes!
You win.
I knew it!
All yours.
You have $150,000, yeah.
Yeah, all yours
Done.
for 150K.
Let's see. Where is that card of mine?
Right. So, let's move on to the next set, which is the 2017 Fleer Ultra full PMG red set, which is numbered out 99. $120,000 for this. And importantly, the Spidey was PSA 7. A crazy price. 73,000 back in December. A complete red set went for.
Well, this exact same set was Brian's set on Golden that sold for the exact same dollar amount.
Yeah,
But
once again, this feels totally in line with me.
Correct.
Yeah, in line, right.
What's the grade of the miles in this one? Spider-Man 7.
So look,
I think on that other red, the miles was a 9, wasn't it?
Yes.
On the golden one.
Good memory.
Yeah, Brian's the
7.
miles was high, and I think the
7.
Spider-Man was also a 7.
Gwen 8.
A lot of 7s in this set, I can tell you that.
It's interesting seeing it, how they grade 7, 7, 8. Super interesting.
I think overall, the one that sold 2 weeks ago, the grades were slightly higher, and this went for the same amount.
Yeah, it's hard to tell without having it all like laid out in a spreadsheet to see exactly like, you know what I mean? But I generally, roughly speaking, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Regarding the earlier conversation, Norin, regarding like people, large collectors, the whales that happen to have a lot of the 2013, 2015 PMGs, what percentage of the PMG market from the 2013 and 2015 do you believe to be held in very few collections? That's a really complicated question, but I think I said it.
No,
right.
it's not. It's an awesome question, and I'm super happy to hear it. So from my experience, and I don't know everything, this is only stuff that I've been kind of dealing with for the last year and a half with a bunch of different buyers, and I think everyone had the same problem I had from personal experience when I first entered the Silver Surfer craziness that I did, and that was that 2013 cards were stupid hard to find. Right, that was the first thing that happened, and I think what happened is that a lot of buyers came in and they gravitated towards a thing that was available, which was 2017. And that's why 2017 is what it is now. Plus, it's Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. The quality of PMG from 2017, in my opinion, is of a higher caliber than the ones from Metal X-Men, my opinion. And I also think in terms of Fleer Ultra X-Men as well, I think the Spider-Man ones are eye appeal is really nice. Percentage-wise, I think the 2013 game is coming to a close to the people who are going to have it in forever homes. I think 2015 is probably already locked. I'd be very surprised. And 17, in terms of like big cards, that's over. So I think a lot of people right now are picking up reds and bronzes and patterns just to have some skin in the game. I think blues would be really nice for 17 if people could figure it out. But I mean that's my sense of it all right now, really. Yeah.
Good answer. So what percentage do we think is in fractional shared kind of ownership and things like that?
I love this conversation. It's a beautiful. It's amazing. I don't have all the answers, but for me,
yes, you do.
Man, it's so crazy. No, I don't. For me, and I love and hate the whole idea of fractional ownership of things. I was joking around with a crew of people that I know in a random chat about like being your own CEO of your collection and having this kind of. The king is the person who owns the items, and they are the vault. I see everyone kind of in the future getting into the fractional share thing. I see people wanting to keep their cards in a vault and trading and selling and doing all these things remotely. I know probably not for us because, we've collected for a long time, but I don't know. Feeling wise, it feels like that's the future in a strange way.
Love it. Good answer, man. Good answer.
If the card prices keep doing what they're doing, you almost have to. I know if I wanted a piece of that red Spider-Man, I'd have to buy a fraction of it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's what NFTs are, right? I mean, NFTs right now are just basically trading cards digitally. We can be honest. Like I was looking into it. I've spoken to a lot of people who are into this stuff. They own what they have digitally. They check the market to see what's trading up, what's happening, what's moving, what can pop and go. And what people are looking at are saying, hey, well, I have my little collection here. I'll trade you this for this, or I'll sell this to buy more packs and get more NFTs. I mean, it's not that different, to be honest.
Yeah. And Neo, what would you say to that? Obviously, you've seen, the sports cards cycles and stuff like that. So what would be your opinion on that?
On the fractionals specifically, like that angle?
Yeah.
I personally hate fractionals. Really? I just don't like them. I want that card in my hand. Like if it's a big boy card and I don't get to own it, I guess I just don't get to own it. But
yes,
I don't know. The fractional stuff seems, I don't want to say sketchy, but I don't know. Some of the valuations that they put on this stuff before they go put them out. And there's been some weird stuff on the sports card side where it's like, oh, this card sold for $5 million in a private sale, so that's the valuation, and that's what we're going to fractional it out at, like 50% of it or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been a big fan of the fractional stuff at all. I mean, I understand why it exists and why it's coming and its purpose, but I don't know that I would ever seriously put money into a fractional share of something. I played around on dibs for like 2 seconds and just immediately didn't like it. Like,
yeah.
Same. I did the same thing. I was like, nah, I'm
$20 in. I was like, let me see what happens. And then I was like, this is not for me.
It's not for me.
I don't think people that have rooms that look like ours, like fractional, like fractional sharing, play well with others.
So that's the thing.
No.
I think,
Well, in the-
Scandell, you're right. Is for me, Marvel cards hit different in terms of you're looking at something beautiful,
Yeah.
like in terms of a character. It's it's not Michael Jordan, but you know what I mean. If you have a Spider-Man, a piece of art, like winner.
It's art. It really is art. You know what I mean? And like, if everything does kind of move, God, I hate this word now, but metaversey type of stuff, like it's ridiculous. But in my mind, God, man, I don't know about you guys if you guys are gamers or not, but like I've played a few games, nothing crazy, but there is something nice about being able to like get items you want in a game. And if metaverse is definitely this kind of world where you are digitally having communications and stories and roundtable discussions and all this other stuff, there is going to be a bit of customization for that. And I see a lot of artwork being part of that narrative.
Well, in the mode of selfish promotion, we're going to have a pretty big conversation on my channel Tuesday night regarding fractionals. I'm going to have Justin on talking about that Gold 101. So
Nice.
That's awesome.
About that.
That's a little different though. Like that's like two people splitting a card, or I don't know what arrangement he had for that, but like 2 or 3 people partnering up on a card, I think is different than I'm going to take this card and bust it into 5,000 pieces. Like to me, that's fractional. That's 2 different things.
Right.
I mean, the goal, if I were to do
going
that,
in halvesies is different than fractional.
yeah, the goal to
Halvesies.
Yeah.
the game I would play if I was entering that market would be to eventually obtain all of the shares of the item. Like I would be like looking at it as like a game where I'm like constantly trying to buy out the other people.
Scandal's in an episode of Succession.
I mean, it doesn't seem fun at all. Like you can't even look at your item. It's just
the fractional thing isn't about fun, and it's not about collecting. It's strictly about the money.
It's
money. Yeah,
exactly. So there's a
100%
fundamental
about the
difference.
money.
There's a fundamental difference in the people that want to do that versus the people, I think, like everybody here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for making money off collectibles, but that's just like a different. I don't know. It's just like a different.
It's a different
take on
game.
it that I just
It's a
don't like.
different game. It's just totally. It's just a different game. Yeah.
Here. So, like, as far as the fractional money, there's the do crypto if you want to do that, right?
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, it brings us on to the bronze set, complete bronze set, which is out of 199. All in PSA slabs again. 32,400. And I did talk to Kent, or Marvel Guy, about this. And where does the SGC bronze set that's on Golden end up versus this? And again, there are quite a few variables. So the grades here, there's quite a number of 6s, in particular this Spidey, which is a 6, Carnage, Wolverine 2. So the big 2 there. Spider-Gwen 6 as well.
And
so yeah, thoughts on that?
This ended at 32, to be clear. This ended, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Miles was an 8, which is a good grade, to be fair. So yeah, do we think
the key cards on the SGC set, are they in like the same range, or are they like 8s,
have a look, shall we?
7s and 8s?
Let's have a look.
Typically, it's about a 30 to 40% discount on an SGC to PSA, but that's normally speaking like 10 to 10. I don't know how
number,
that
right?
comps out on. So PMGs and what they go for in different grades are a little weird.
Yeah.
I still say this goes cheaper almost regardless of what the grade differences are.
I mean,
so
the Miles is a
I'm
9.
Yeah.
I think
it has that pattern thing that we talked about, that line, that pattern line
that
for Cap and Spidey. Yeah. And Wolverine has
it's on Cap there.
It's on Miles.
Miles too.
Yeah.
I think anybody.
Is that only on the bronzes?
No,
there's a blue 2099 that just sold on eBay about a week ago. Had a real bad one on the right hand side.
I think
So
anybody.
it seems like SGC is not grading that though. Obviously, they're not factoring that in.
Yeah, if they give it an 8, I mean, honestly, it's a hard thing to factor in. I don't know if it should be factored in. It's a tough call.
Well,
I mean, I don't
on
think they
the
clearly aren't
newer-
because the mile's got a 9. So
Anybody
on
could.
the new on the Neo would know this, but on the new kabooms, on the football kabooms, there's a print line that's all on the top of every single one of those, and it does not preclude you from getting a 10. PSA knows that it's a manufacturing issue, and they don't ding you for it.
yeah.
Awesome. That's cool.
That is cool.
What were you going to
So
say,
that's a
Scandal?
9.
I was going to say, I think anybody could put together this collection in a bronze and probably do it for slightly cheaper than this.
Oof.
Mhm.
Oof.
I do.
Oof.
Do the
That's
math.
good. I like
do the
that.
math.
Start with the big ones first, and then go from there.
I mean,
Yeah,
a
it
Miles
all depends,
bronze
yeah.
raw is 900 by itself.
Yes. Yeah, but the rest are, most of the characters are going to be under 500 bucks.
What's Spider-Man? Probably about another 800 or 900 in a bronze.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at, what is it, 42 cards in the set?
50.
50. So then you're looking at
$50?
$1,500 in
Average
grading
price is
fees.
$650. You could do it.
And you're also what, 1,500 in grading fees too.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good point. Grading fees too.
It definitely depends,
Yep.
like what.
Specifically
it is
speaking,
for.
SGC. Like if you're SGC grading it, it's $30 a card.
I'm just
so
saying
that's
this
$1,500.
this particular collection doesn't look particularly preciously curated to the point where it's all 8s and 9s or 7s. It's pretty, to me, it looks like it's a smash grab job. It's SGC too. This was someone that just threw it together. No offense to anybody out there, I'd do it too, but it doesn't look like somebody was like trying to get the best grades on every card.
Well, it's hard enough to
It's-
complete the set.
Well, I mean, an 8 is a good grade though on a PMG. Like,
Yeah, but there's a
Correct.
lot
Yeah.
of 6s, right?
I think
That
what's
was
also
also-
no, I mean all the key characters there 8s or better.
Mm.
That front page is every key card basically.
You're right.
Everything's-
I was
there's nothing
remembering
lower
the
than
red
8 there.
grades. I'm off it. Only half my brain's working today.
The PSA set was a lot of low grades.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
mixed up. My
Right.
channels got mixed up.
Yeah, you're good.
I think what's good regardless is that, man, there's so much legwork with PMGs right now. It's just so hard to pry anything from anybody from what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? People are having a hard time being okay selling, understanding where the market is, worried about it crashing or building. I mean, looking at that set and just wanting something in the game, I don't know.
I didn't account for eBay fees too.
Oh, God.
That's a
eBay
big
fees.
one.
That's a big one.
eBay.
eBay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I
that
mean,
brings
your
us on
buy
to
on the auction house 20%, but sorry.
yeah, true. There is
But,
that.
real quick before we move out to bronze, though, I mean, I get that it's easy to get now, but do we think that that's not going to be the case in 6 months? Like, eventually, if people keep gobbling them up, like, eventually the bronze are going to be slightly harder to find. I think you'll always be able to find them, but
Yeah,
I think
the other
good
one.
grades, higher end characters is what you're looking at for bronze. You know what I mean? And I think if you're overpaying on a low end character on bronze, it's a misstep. But I do think that higher end characters, especially with them being like at the very bottom of the totem pole right now, the pecking order, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't, it all depends what Spider-Man Metal looks like. If Spider-Man Metal comes out and it has tons of quality control issues, which it might not, you know, I think that's going to be the real, we're going to see everything kind of like change. If it's really bad,
Yeah.
I think 17 might get higher.
yeah, metal
As
does
crazy
feel like
as
a
that
fork in
sounds.
the road moment.
it's
It really is.
definitely going to have that
Yeah.
impact.
That's going to be tough.
So yeah, that brings us on to the other, even more important, I guess, golden lot, which is the 2013 case of Fear Retro, 6 hobby boxes, currently at $40,000. 3 days remaining. What we think in terms of prices?
There's 6 boxes in there.
That's
Yep.
a full case, 6 boxes. And they have the video on YouTube of them opening it. So this was a sealed box, but with the Logan Paul craziness, I think Golden made the right decision to open it on camera, white glove it,
Make
do the
sure
whole
they're not
scenario.
G.I. Joe cards.
Right, make sure they're not G.I. Joe cards.
G.I. Joe?
And-
How many?
I wish it was G.I. Joe.
How many? Here's my question: how many precious metal gems are guaranteed in this box? In this case?
Still one per box. Still one per box, isn't it?
I thought they were two. I thought they were 2 per box in 2013.
I don't think
I'm
so.
gonna look that up
looks-
right now.
A lot of them, here's the thing, on the back of the box, it says get 30 variety of inserts. So I was watching the last box opening for Sports Card Investor, and I believe they got 2,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's the one you're thinking of too. And I've seen a few of these broken now. I've seen a lot of 2 ones come out of there. But the other thing that people are not understanding here is that, yes, this is the PMG thing, right? But I'm telling you, man, Jambalayas in here.
Yeah.
That's special because Jambalaya, I really do think, I've had a lot of friends hit me up. I really think the Jambalayas might be out of 10.
Odds are there's not a jambalaya in this case. That's the thing. Like,
but getting it as
how
a
rare
case,
they were that
that's
rare.
how rare they. No, 100%. But getting it as a sealed case, I don't know. That's kind of nice. If you were ever going to take the gamble on something sealed for a jambalaya, I'd rather do it on a case than a box.
I mean, we've talked about this before in the chat. It doesn't matter what's in the boxes.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't open them.
It doesn't, like, it has no bearing. You could say that every key PMG has been pulled and there's not a jambalaya in that case, and it would still go for an obscene amount of money.
Jack is awesome. I think Jack is right.
Yeah, I thought I read that the box odds were 2.5 per box on PMGs in 2013. So you could even possibly get 3 in a box. And I did see on YouTube there is a box break where someone pulled out 3 PMGs, 1 blue Thor, 1 red Iron Man, and 1 red something else, all out of the same box. So that does kind of. So there is possibly, again, how many boxes in here? 6 boxes.
6.
That's possibly 15 PMGs in here. I know nobody would. I know your point, Neo, is that it's mute and that nobody would, in their right mind, would probably open these, but it's still interesting.
I'm just waiting
because people do get in a scenario where we're in a Charizard scenario 5 or 10 years from now with Marvel cards, then these boxes will be opened. So,
well,
I don't know that they would.
To answer your first question, Jindy, my guess is 200 grand.
So 33,333 per box.
I was at about 30K per box. I was going to say between 180 and 200, with maybe a slight premium because it's a case versus loose boxes. How many? I mean, Norrin, I don't know that you know this, but like, what's your best guess on how many of these exist?
Let me look at my box and see what written on the back. So I'll be right back. No, I was really surprised to see that they found one. I was really shocked. In fact, I think they found it through blowout forms. I was a little late to the game on that one, but someone did mention they had a case in the back, and I think that's where they got it from that collector. Honestly, everybody I know, nobody has a case of this. Even the person I know who bought 12 cases of this because they kind of heard the hype and everyone was kind of clamoring for it. And the person was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And they decided to pass on a lot of them because they were kind of like, this is going to be impossible to put together because people were really foaming at the mouth for jambalayas, PMGs. It's exactly what happened when 16 came out. When Marvel Masterpieces 16 came out, it was quiet. People cared, fans loved it, blah, blah, blah. And then people looked at the quality and looked at the art. Yeah, see, that mailed it. And yeah, baby. And I think a lot of people jumped on 2016. That's kind of what happened with 13. So I was looking for a case of 13 for over a year and a half, maybe 2 years, trying to see if I knew anybody in case they, want to sell or, what they were doing with it, or just to get pictures. Cause I'm trying to keep really good record keeping because the thing that happened with that Pokemon case freaked me out. So I was trying to look for a box to get all the pictures, to look at the tape, all this kind of stuff. Cause I thought we should have that for the hobby. And, I didn't find one, not one. And I found at most 4 boxes.
So
I'm laughing. I'm laughing at Chad.
Go on, mate.
I said I'm laughing at Chad. This is when Logan Paul starts making videos on Marvel cards.
But I'm serious.
Logan Paul just said, "Hold my beer."
This is something that could happen. Like this could be a 1 million box in a couple of years.
Yes, that's true.
Could. I mean, I'm throwing it out there. I'm positive about Marvel, but
I think there is a legitimate, like, as much as we're guessing around 200K, and I think that's the right number, there's a chance that this just goes
Exactly.
There's just as good a chance this goes for 180 to 200, and then it could also just go wild because this is potentially a 101
to the moon.
Right.
So yeah,
Case
I don't know
of stuff. I'd be surprised, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want my voice to be the only one here. I just because I don't know of any other cases. I don't know this seller. I'm not pimping this, but I am saying I just don't personally know. And there are people who don't like me and don't talk to me. So there are plenty of things I don't know here.
I mean, even if there's more than I mean, I'm sure that there's probably other ones out there tucked away, but it's not like there's a lot of them.
I doubt it. There's only 4,000 and something boxes. What was it? It's a stupid number.
Wait, how many? Yeah, say that again.
Yeah, it's a stupid number.
Did you say 4,000?
Over 4,000 boxes. That's it.
Not cases. 4,000 boxes.
Boxes. Boxes. I don't know. I'm not doing that for you, Gingy. I keep messing it up, and I just go in with Scandell. I don't know why.
Really?
It's really low.
Well, the funny thing is, if this sells for $500,000, we might see a few more boxes come out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
I don't know if the individual box would go as crazy though. I think there's a uniqueness to the sealed case factor.
Agreed.
100%.
4,000. So 670 cases. That's what you're saying was made.
There's 700 cases.
Oh my gosh, that's nothing.
6 box a case, 20 packs a box, 700 cases. That to me is nothing.
Should be 6K boxes based on one.
Well, okay. Do we know? Can you enlighten me on why that's the case? Why was there such little of this product made?
Because it is a beautiful box to open. The variety of cards you get in this box. No. I don't mean it like that. Sounds like.
Why wouldn't there be more if they were so beautiful? Why did they choose to manufacture? Why did Upper Deck only make? Sorry, not Flair. Why did Flair only make so little?
I think the card. I don't know. My assumption is that the cards were so varied in terms of like what they look like, material wise, shape wise. I mean, TIs, Quick Strike, Jambalaya, PMGs, like those are all very different cards. Intimidation Nation. I mean, those are all unique foiling, all different, plus all the autograph cards too. I mean, like that had to be expensive to make. I'm assuming, right?
Well, back in 2013, also, what was the demand in 2013? It wasn't
not much.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were going to print these things into the ground knowing there was a bunch of buyers for them. So you make a high-end, nice product for the limited amount of people that actually care about it.
2012 Marvel Premiere. They didn't make the stuff. They didn't make too many of those either, and that was super premium.
That's an insane. Like you could do the math on how many complete base sets could even be made out of that many boxes, and that's not even that many.
No.
That's the thing.
Well,
If it does,
we've been saying about Marvel is that it hasn't been printed to death like Pokemon, and most of it is numbered. I mean, that's kind of what sets us apart.
Mm-hmm. But like, if this does go for 200K with the inserts with the PMGs, like, and someone did open it, you could get to 30K fairly quickly if you were looking at it in that respect. I don't think that will happen. But I think this will surpass 500K. I really do. I said 400, but I'm saying 500 now.
He wants it on record. He's like, I'm going to get this number.
USD, right? USD.
British pound. British pound. Oh, you crazy mother. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens here.
And say that does happen. What then happens to Marvel cards? Does that have an impact afterwards?
I don't think so, because this is kind of a unicorn.
You think?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be good for like the whole, the news cycle, but I don't think this has a direct correlation on an individual price of a red PMG from 2013 or a Jambalaya or anything like that. This is a very unique situation and a unique item. And while, once again, I think other than the news cycle hype of it, of like content creators talking about it going around IG or Twitter or whatever, beyond that, like whatever positive spin you could spin from that, but just the fact that if this goes for $1 million, I don't think it has a direct impact on PMG sales.
No. Well, I think this is a 1% purchase.
Don't you think though, if that's the case, what you just said, that then as this gets more exposure, more people start looking into stuff and start buying cheaper ones because now they want to get a PMG, but they can't afford a 2013. So maybe they do start looking at the 17s or the 15s or the 20s or whatever. And then that overall consumption or demand then drives up prices of the rest of the stuff.
Maybe. I feel like most of those people that would have heard about this have already heard about the PMG wildness just based off. If you're remotely into any sort of card or collectible, you've probably at least heard that Marvel cards are going crazy.
Right.
It'd be hard not to if you're at minimally plugged in to anything in the collectible world.
Right.
Yeah. To Neo's point, like I listen to several podcasts, sports podcasts sometimes. They all mention Marvel. Like that's just one example, but that is true, to be fair.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Okay, so you guys know more about products than I do, especially cards, like this kind of stuff. In regards to like the base metal cards, is that what they're called? Like the ones that the PMGs are derived from?
Yeah, baby.
Were those
blasters?
how many of those were in each box?
The box odds are on the side of the box, and they weren't common by any means. So like if I go down this list, because I have some pack odds here, some I don't. So the Fleer Retro stickers was 1 out of 5 packs, right? The Fleer Ultra X-Men retro kind of stuff was 1 out of 5 packs. The Impel Marvel Universe design was 1 out of 12.
I want that so bad, and I cannot find it for anything.
It's a beautiful piece.
Mm-hmm.
The 1991 design Marvel Universe 2, 1 out of 15 packs. And each one of these have autograph variables, these kind of like designs.
Which
92 Marvel, superb. 92 Impel Marvel Universe 3 design, 1 out of 20 packs.
My question is, I guess, how do the base metal compare to the bronze of 2017? When you're talking about the actual production numbers, I think that would be really interesting because
I think that would be really interesting.
Because if you're saying 4,000 boxes, that's
Sydney.
Like that. All of a sudden, things get really interesting when you're dividing that by 42 metal cards.
A lot of things are super hard to find in this box. The hardware is 1 out of 60 packs. The stars is 1 out of 40, which no one talks about. The holograms are 1 out of 80.
What are the TI-22s?
Aren't those 100 each? 1 out of 40 packs is 100 each for each card. Is that true, or am I wrong?
I think that is true.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
I wonder. Quick Strike is the same.
These are stunning as well.
So that's less than the bronze, which is 199.
Yeah.
I like them. I've always liked them. This is just crazy town. 1 out of 30 for Intimidation Nation.
Yeah, this is my pump moment, I guess. I think 2013. I think 3 years from now, anything 2013, like is gonna have been considered. Like now's the time. Like
it has banned characters. I'm not pimping this. I'm just excited to talk about this because I don't think people even thought about that yet. This has banned characters. Some of the PMGs in here have only had these characters on PMGs one time. And I guarantee you guys are waiting another 3 to 4 years before you see another Mr. Fantastic PMG. Money. I bet money on that. Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Human Torch.
Yeah, the Doom is one that if I could find a good deal, I would pick up.
It's beautiful. It's a great Doom too. You know what I mean? On top of that,
all of these are so rare. That's crazy.
They're nice pieces, man. The red skull, which is like lower tier, is still the Loki from this set is banging, man.
I just said it never hit me like it hit me just now, where you're saying that the production, 4,000 boxes is 600 cases, and that's nothing.
It's 700 cases, so it's 4,000 something, and I'm too dumb to do the math, and I wrote it down and forgot. But yeah.
So the next one I wanted to talk about was an interesting one for me. We're going back to 1996, Marvel.
Yeah, baby.
Which is a stunning set. So a sealed box currently at 3,337. Master collection. Well, I'd say full collections are like in around the 4K mark, around that area. Sometimes a little bit less. So where does that go? That's an interesting one for me.
Real quick, boys, I got to sneak out. My pizza showed up, so I just wanted to pop on for
No
a
worries.
little bit.
Enjoy, brother. Thank
Papa
you for
John
coming
is
on.
calling.
brother.
And actually, tomorrow I'll pimp myself a little bit. I'm doing Marvel video tomorrow, so
Yes.
Oh, Monday.
All right, good.
Awesome.
big market movers deep dive.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, brother.
They're all loaded up now.
Thanks, Neo.
All right,
Cheers,
later,
Neo.
boys. I'll be watching.
Later, buddy.
While eating pizza.
While eating pizza.
I just had a barbecue chicken pizza. That's fine.
Damn. Now I need to get
I need
pizza.
pizza.
Pizzas are going to be sold on eBay, being graded and stuff. The pimp.
Yeah,
So
where
to
do
be
you
honest,
think this goes?
I don't know a lot about the 96 set. I just that one eluded me.
96 is so good, man. It's so good. Marvel Masterpieces 96 is legendary. I know, that's so fair. I'm not putting any judgment or pressure on anybody, but 96 is special. Very, very special. It came out at the decline of Marvel Comics. It is rumored to only been released. Oh, Ryan. Chase, I went after minus full PMG rounds. It took a lot of effort. What a beast. Yeah, I've heard of this from a lot of people. Ryan's really cool, actually. But yeah, 96, man. Only half of it got released, rumored, because of the shutdown of Marvel Comics and the decline of everything being overprinted. So only half the set came out. You could get original paintings. You can pull original paintings in here, not pull the actual painting, but get the chance.
Like Redemption?
And yeah, the Redemption. And then you had double impact cards, which are embossed on both ends, so super hard to grade those. And the gloss on these. So Gingy, I don't think a lot of people had these sticking to each other, did they? I saw Watch Me Open do it, our boy Billy, and I've seen a couple of other people, but I haven't seen a lot of sticking issues.
No, I haven't.
Because the packs that come in the box, I don't know if you guys have seen them.
No way have you got one.
No, I got a pack. I don't got a box.
I was going to say.
No. The Fleer Retro stuff's in the closet.
Let me pull this case out real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
Yeah.
What's really nice about this is that the pack has no pressure on it.
Right.
So it's high gloss.
It's blistered. It's a blister pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. And they're unpunched too, which is pretty fun for grading these when PSA starts doing that majesticness. But I love them. They're great.
So I haven't seen a sealed box 96 for, to be honest, I don't remember the last time in my short Marvel collecting period. So yeah, for me, it's going to go crazy on that. But have the guys kind of buying this kind of PMG stuff? Do they know about this set? I don't know. Man.
People are making a killing. I think pecking order wise, I know you guys are big on Fleer 2017 boxes, Charles, but for me, it's very much 2013 Fleer Retro, 1996 Marvel Masterpieces. That's for me. That's for me. Sealed collection, top of the line, 1%, those two boxes. Without a doubt, for me.
Big dog.
Nice.
Swami's just said we have a master set pop Excel spreadsheet going through Rittenhouse so far. So we are taking the total case / box count, pull rates, and getting the total pops, which is fantastic to see. I want to see that, Swami.
It's Rittenhouse. Just ask Collection Kings. They'll probably give you all the numbers.
Yeah. Collection Kings got it all.
Collection Kings, man.
Yeah, so some good stuff on. There's a few more PMGs, obviously, that are ending in 3 days' time. Anything of note?
Those Venoms are cool. Yeah, those Venoms are neat. So there was a red Venom recently. Wasn't it the red at Scandal you were following? Didn't it sell for? It was a lot. It was like $8,000 or something.
Red Venom. There was a red. It wasn't me. It was Steve Gray. Steve Gray was following it. It was flipping Steve that was.
Oh yeah. Okay. Those Venoms are really cool looking cards. I mean, that blue is sick.
That's McFlaren, right? Isn't that right? McFlaren? McFlaren? I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it like an idiot. The guy who draws Spawn. Is that his Venom? I'm saying it all wrong like an idiot. But I believe that's his Venom.
You sound so dumb right now.
I sound so dumb. I'm so dumb. Everyone's gonna be like, "What an idiot! Doesn't understand it." Whatever.
McFarlane,
Asshole.
man.
McLaurin. Yeah, whatever.
I'm still
I'm gonna say it
calculating.
wrong purposely now. You know.
I'm
Screw
still
that.
running calculations on like the stars cards and the hardware cards on these 20.
I knew you were quiet for a reason.
I'm like,
I saw your
what is-
eyes
I'm like,
darting, and
I do not understand what's happening here. Like, yeah,
someone's
those
eBay checking.
the hardware
fast.
card. Those hardware cards are two per box, and
Is Blue Spidey's a 9?
oh my gosh,
So yeah, it's a
Oh.
9, currently at 10k. So
I know,
I'm
it's
watching
Sorry,
that closely.
Scandal, I was just
Watching that
Oh,
very
man.
closely, and then the miles is at 3,500 for a PSA 8. So
Punisher's
those
a
two,
Punisher's smart move to grow. I do like those two Spider-Mans together. I think Punisher's a smart
because it's a
play.
10, yeah.
Well, not only is he 10, but he's basically like a completely changed, like half band, half kind of like not around character right now.
logo changed.
Logo change,
Yeah,
character
true.
change. You know, there's some things happening there, and Spider-Man and Punisher, I love that synergy. I think that's great.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sets.
So,
But
Ginny,
yeah,
Norin, where do you think the 96 box ends up at?
The 96 box, I don't like the top of that box by any means.
Well, that's how they
So,
all were, weren't they?
no,
Are
they're
you saying it looks
clear.
like it was kind of crushed a little?
It looks like it was folded in quite a bit because it should be flat up there. And that's asking a lot. I agree. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it is asking a lot. It really is because you know that's saran wrap over time. I don't know if it's vented. It should have holes in it, which will show
Well, the cards are at
authenticity.
the bottom. The cards are at the bottom. So,
Oh, it has nothing to do with the cards. It's the aesthetic of the box. Because
Just
I'm
the
thinking
box,
about
oh, okay.
I'm just
all
thinking
right.
about keeping it like. So for me, when I buy a box, you know, there's two reasons to buy a box in my book, and these are my reasons, not the reasons of the anybody. You know, they don't have to be the same. You crack it, so you get the best possible chance at tens, right? Or it's a sealed collection, and it's museum level, pristine box, clean. Eventually, get it graded. Nice little time capsule. You know what I mean? But like, that's the only reason. Like for this box, if this went cheap enough, for me, it'd make total sense to crack it and grade everything.
Right. Well, that's what. See, I was coming at it from ABR.
No, we keep doing this with each other. Every time you ask me a question, it's like, "Well, I wouldn't touch it," and you're like, "Give it to me."
so like, in theory, this should hit 10k in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like that. I think that makes sense for me. I mean, I look at the pop report for 96.
Ugh, it's crazy.
Gingy knows this better than I do. I don't even know why I'm talking to it. Gingy, the pop report for 96, man, it is not like super easy to get a 10, no?
It's tough. It is tough. All right, let's close this down.
96. Is that?
3,000, man. Crazy.
So some cards. So in 96, the range of 96 is very, very, very few 10 wise. You maybe have like 2 or 3 cards that have 7 10s. Most cards are between 2 and 4 that are 10s, and there are even cards in here that only have a pop 1 of 10.
Yeah.
That's
I was into the 94s and the 95s, Norin. Which you?
Yeah.
95s are nice too.
And Surfer only has a pop has a 10 of pop and pop 2, and I have one of them, and the other one's in a collection.
And that's a pop.
And then-
well, that's SGC, but that's a 9. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a 9, yeah. I mean, SGC is nice, man. I like it. There's nothing wrong with SGC.
Oh, the whole reason I wanted that Surfer and an SGC slab is silver against the black. I felt like good.
Beautiful. No. I think that's absolutely stunning. I really do. Double impacts. There are only 6 Gem Mint 10 double impact cards. None of Bishop and Beast. None of Storm and Spider-Man.
That's a nice one.
That's a nice one. Only one of Punisher / Psylocke. Only one of Rogue / Human Torch. And only one of Silver Surfer / Captain America. And 3 Wolverine and Venom, which makes sense because that was a favorite and people sent that in. And that was an easier double impact to hit, apparently. I don't know if that's true.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Interesting.
That's what I heard. I could be wrong.
I think you just saw more of them because it was popular.
Probably. That 100% could be true.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't have anything towards that. Yeah, people really like 95 hardcore. Yeah, I was reading one of the comments. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, Bryce just says, so how many other hardware cards would there be for the 2013 retro? As I'm seeing some really cheap.
I don't know.
1 out of 60. Scandal's like, shut up.
I'm like filling a cart right now on eBay. Just kidding. No, it's interesting. The hardware. I'm just going to say it clearly because I did just work it out. So, and I'm sure other people have worked this out. This is old hat to many people that have been in this in a long time. But yeah, for the hardware, it's 1 in every 60 packs. So that's 1 in every 3 boxes. So that means you're going to get 2 in every case, 2 hardware in every case. For the stars, you're going to get 3 in every case. So 6 times 4,000 cases. So you got 24,000 of those cards exist. Then you got divided by the characters you want. So I mean, they're bountiful, but they're not. I mean, when you see people trading 90s cards, like even at $30 or $40 per card rates, then you see some of these 2013 hits being traded at those $20 to $50 rates. You're like, wait, what? No, that's not right. Like the 90s stuff, you can log into eBay when you're 95 years old from now, 50 years from now, and still find a blue hologram Wolverine from
Well, that's why everything back then, and you and I had this discussion a little bit, Stephen, is anything in the 90s, if it's not graded, the value is just not there. It has to be graded for it to keep the value because it was printed so much.
And some cards were short printed, and some cards were extremely. I mean, there's some gems in 90s cards that, man, I don't know why. No one's even talked about the promos from the 1990 Marvel Universe. Like during the boom of 1990 Marvel Universe cards and everybody was looking for them, no one even talked about the promo cards that came in the clear packs that were like impossible to find. I didn't see one of them show up on eBay during that whole boom. I mean, there's some beautiful pieces in 90s that's going to take some finding for people eventually. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be fun to see people figure that out. But yeah. That's going to be cool.
Educating.
My assignment is I'm going to go back, watch all of the 2013 retro box openings I can, and see how many base metal cards were pulled on each box.
I like that.
Good, and then I do want to compare that number to the bronze because I have a feeling that those cards are actually somewhat either right near the one 200 exist of each card. I imagine it's very similar to the bronze count.
Swami did a great job.
My assignment.
My assignment. I love it. Let's see.
That's great.
I'm looking on a Discord that we can put the link so people can join, of course. For Marvel card collecting, and for our buddy Swami here, who made it up with his friends, and they are putting a list together. So maybe they did the numbers already. I'll double check.
Yeah, still so many Marvel's packs, still so many 90s sets that haven't even been touched grading wise, and it's still early, which is very true. When we see those top one of a certain 90s cards, they tend to get bought up fairly quickly.
People are making that set, man. They're not playing around. Like I've had like 4 people now just randomly hit me up that they're making the 90s set. I think that's a beautiful set to make in all 10s. And manageable.
That's the only game that's the only game that can be made of those cards that makes it somewhat an elite collectible. That's the thing.
It's true.
Where we lost Norn? He just bailed, huh?
He's gone. Right, we're at an hour now, and it's time for me to go to sleep. Really appreciate you guys jumping on at Neo Sketch, Marvel Guy, and Scandal. Thank you for everyone watching. And again, we'll. Sketch is back, and I'm just about to go.
No, don't let me hold you. I know.
Thank you for joining us.
Away.
Blast.
This was a blast.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun to talk to you guys.
Appreciate it, guys. See you all on the next one, and remember, Marvel cards, baby.
I do the
Later.
Okay, guys.